Prasa has officially added the Nyanga Langa route to its central line service Cape Town CBD. This is after 3 years of service failure and significant vandalism and theft. Reconstruction teams had to build parts of the line from scratch, often threatened by armed robbers. SA Passenger Railroad Agency has officially launched Nyanga to Langa section Central Line, completing phase 1 of rebuilding train service to Cape Town. Early morning commuters from Nyanga station were amused by the spectacle of the massive Hugui's in-transit delegation on a still dark Tuesday morning. These included the newly appointed Transport Minister Sindisiwe Chikunga and Prasa President Leonard Ramatlakane, as well as numerous private guards, bodyguards and police, including an armored car parked outside the station. The commuters sat napping or chatting, while in dignitaries' wagon there was only standing room as the train left station without any problems. As darkness rose and revealed a rosy sky, the Prasa delegation shone before them as the R422 million Nyanga to Langa phase of centerline reconstruction stretched out. READHigh hopes for the next phase of Cape Town Central Line rail revival. Margaret Gelderbloem had walked from Manenberg when it was still dark with the group for safety reasons. Gelderbloem, a textile industry mechanic, said he was happy to finally take the train, which was less than a taxi, to earn money for work and food. It was costing me a 18 one way, she added. A8 now, said another passenger. All stations on the 50 km line have not been opened yet. Tuesday's launch marks the completion of phase 1 on the central line and includes services between Langa and Bellville. From Nyanga, the train stopped at Langa, Pinelands, Maitland, Ndabeni, Koeberg Road, Salt River, Woodstock before entering Cape Town station. At height of the arson attacks, station itself nearly burned down when stationary wagons were set on fire, and much of it is being remodeled. The second phase of the restoration will include Nyanga, Shone, Khayelitsha and Kapteinsklip stations. Prasa Group CEO Hisham Emran said the restoration team had to start from scratch and build new substations and, in some places, new lines. That's why the train is so slow right now. It can only do 30 km per hour because the tracks have to fit. In its heyday, Prasa carried around 600 million vehicles a year. Yet its rapid destruction has seen that decline 13 million a year, hampered by seemingly uncontrolled vandalism and more service cancellations due to passengers migrating taxis. This has also made taxi industry uneasy, as more and more taxi passengers have started fighting over who will get the job, said one member of delegation strolling through Langa station. The cancellation of a security contract in 2019 and ongoing arson attacks and cable theft caused Prasa to cease its services on November 23, 2019. READHigh Bellville pledges to reclaim nearly 500 million lost train ticket sales. The company's leadership was in turmoil amid widespread corruption and allegations of government capture, but the worst was yet to come. In the first months of the COVID-19 pandemic, all stations experienced total shutdown, followed by widespread looting of anything with marginal resale value. We watched in horror, said Raymond Maseko, Prasa regional manager. During Tuesday's launch journey, many signs were still visible at some stations where the train had not yet stopped. In one, steps' metal supports had been removed, all power boxes stripped, and pieces of rail, roof, bricks gone from the station buildings. Cemeteries of burnt trains are being built against the vast view of Table Mountain. Sloping and cardboard shelters for the homeless line up neatly, with piles of torn and partially burned rubbish scattered around the outer fence in some parts. In other parts, a major cleaning was done. Around 5,500 people have also built barracks on railroad tracks during the pandemic, notably in Langa and Philippi, and will not move until they are given an alternative location, despite court ban. This means that sections of the road in one direction are still unusable along the central line. Prasa has negotiated with slum dwellers retract their barracks a bit so that trains can continue to use part of the track, while government agencies and departments are seeking 40 hectares of well-located land in Cape Town relocate them. We couldn't have waited 2 to 3 years for the move, Maseko said. Prasa's strategy was to get line stations serving the industrial factory areas up running first so workers could save on shipping costs, economy could move. However, armed attackers robbed the buildings and halted construction for 5 months. At READHigh station, they would go out and ask, "Where's Jal?" They used to say to us, "Juma Esi. Your mothers." I won't finish the sentence. They were carrying guns, Maseko said. READHigh is still not open. READHigh Prasa declares Southern Line open, safe and ready for tourists. Prasa turned to the police, district councillors and community forums to speak. Law enforcement was brought in, a private security company stepped in, small, medium and micro businesses residents were hired as contractors, along with Prasa's team. However, Maseko said that 2 of his colleagues were shot and seriously injured in the process. "It will be something for me to tell you it was easy. For me it was the cost of recovering the network," he added. Emeron, whose title changed from GCO deputy to CEO on April 1st, said, "When we talk about threats, we are talking about serious armaments that come to the field. So far, revitalization of Central Line has cost us 650 million of our 1.2 billion budget allocated for project." However, Emeron cautioned that passengers should not wait for London Underground speeds and frequencies just yet, as new train tracks come into use and new trains are introduced. A new development for Prasa is its investment in a 3,300 student revenue generator accommodation built next to the Cape Town station and 7,000 square feet of retail space around the terminal concourse. Completing ceremony after the launch journey, Chikunga praised everyone involved in restoration. Restoring passenger rail service in the country is an important priority that will set us back on track towards achieving our long-term goal of positioning passenger rail as the backbone of our public transport system, he said. Chikunga begged residents and commuters to take care of the net and trains. After completion formalities, employees who took part in revitalization of line were given certificates appreciation. Hugs and anecdotes shared, from suit-clad mechanics to oil-covered mechanics, gave a glimpse of the horror of what they had accomplished.